Welcome to Jalsa KYC Radio, to our KYC segment. I am Program Director Vinesh, and this is our initiative to ensure that you know your candidates. And that is our initiative that we have taken with the Plains Media. And we also thank our knowledge partner, Christchurch Bengali community, for this project. And I also acknowledge Arpan, the president of the Christchurch Bengali community, who is present in the studio today. And as you can see in the video, I have our guest with me, Dominick Yanzick, and
Correct.
commonly known as Dom, and
That's right.
he is New Zealand's Labour Party's parliamentary candidate for the Wigram electorate, where Megan Woods used to be the MP, who we have known for centuries, I think.
15 years, yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And now we have Dom, who's going to take on the big shoes.
Exactly.
So let's start with Dom. Our program will be like in the first 10 minutes, we are going to know more about you, what you do, why you are here.
Yep.
And then in the next 5 minutes, we will see if we have any questions from our community, and
cool.
we will try to see how many questions we can ask, because of course we will do what we can do in the 15 minutes time that we have. So we will shoot off with Dom today. So let's start with what's happening today. Is this is our recording. While we are doing the recording, we are having this game happening, which is Crusaders versus Blues. And I'm quite sure that you are quite passionate with the sports. So what are your thoughts on that?
Oh no, it'll be a very exciting game. Managed to have a quick look at the score just before we come in for this interview. So it was looking very good for the Crusaders. If I was a betting man, it'd be I think it'd be a safe bet to put money on the Crusaders, as it's been the last few years. But yeah, no, it was a bit tougher season than we've seen in the last few years. But they seem to, always. I mean, last year was the same. You got close to the getting to the finals, then they seem to come into their own. But yeah, grew up playing rugby, back at home, and continue to be a very passionate rugby supporter up in Canterbury.
And now going through our questions. So let's start with your choice.
Yeah.
What made you decide to be a candidate going forward?
That's a good question. I got involved with Wigram Labour. I didn't have the intention to be an MP. I sort of got involved a number of years ago and sort of helped out with door knocking and sort of Megan's campaigns, and then sort of helped out with local body campaigning. And then when sort of Megan said she's no longer going to be the electorate MP, and said I should consider putting my name forward, I sort of thought about it. And then as someone that I don't sit on the sidelines. I like to sort of get involved, and get and do the work, and having a new daughter, or being a new dad, and having a little girl. Thank you. Yeah, I want to see a positive sort of direction this community in Wigram, the city Christchurch, and the city New Zealand. I want to see it going in a positive direction, not sort of being sort of divided, or see the divisive change we're seeing, and something more sort of cohesive and sort of brought together. And so that's sort of how I got involved. It was small steps, as a lot of people attest to. When they get into politics or join a party, you join thinking, I'll get involved, help a little bit, and the next minute I got roped into being the treasurer, and then it just grows from there. But it's been great fun, and been a great way to get more involved in the community and being in parts of the whole range of different events.
And what have you been hearing so far? Have you had any comments like, you look too young?
Not that I look too young. I mean, growing up, I always looked older than my age, and I think I've now hit the spot where I look about my age. No, and I think when Megan started, actually was MP for Wigram, when she started up and took over from Jim, she was about the same age, maybe a year or two older, but started off. So I think it's a great age. People coming in, having a number of years, been working, growing up. And so I think it is a good age. I mean, and for me, I think you've got enough experience, but also a lot of energy and enthusiasm to work hard for this community and be amongst it.
And how do you rank yourself when you have to consider the aging population when you are not in that age
Yeah.
bracket. At the same time, we have this younger generation who are actually maybe needing a bit of help from the government.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think it's always you know, as a as candidate, you're always going to be either you'd be like myself, but being slightly younger, you can sort of be more aligned or connected to that community. But also, I was out a few days ago at a retirement home talking about the changes to the Retirement Villages Act and the challenges they see there with a lot of the housing that they've got there that they can't potentially they might not get their money back for 12 months. So there's a whole range of things that as a candidate you have to be sort of involved in, and then also some different communities. The brilliant thing about Wigram is how diverse it is. We've got a whole range of different communities, and you get different events, and that myself didn't grow up going to. So as a candidate, one of the pleasures and fun parts about it is just connecting, whether it's someone a lot older than you or different generations or different communities. I mean, that's the privilege and the fun of being a candidate. So yeah.
And I mean, the idea is for us to know more about you. But when we talk about such possible potential legislative changes, then I couldn't just hold myself. But do you ever wonder why it took so long for someone to realize that there needs to be a change to those retirement villages, the way they do their thing? Like, just as you talk about that, they have to wait for so many months or maybe indecisive timeline to get their money back.
Well, I mean, I know before the change of government in 2023, we'd been working a lot and getting that act, working, build that act, put it together, and we sort of ran out of time to get it through before the last election. What the bill that Ingrid Lear is trying to put through is instead of 12 months, which means if they move from their villa to a retirement home or something else, that they could be having to. Well, we talked to a number of constituents. They had to borrow money to be able to move, and so we're saying that should go down to about 3 months. That's the bill Ingrid Lear is putting forward. That it should be 3 months, which seems a much more reasonable amount of time for these large, organisations to hold on to your money, which is your money. It's your money that they're holding on to, and they're not paying back, and that you need. A lot of these people have worked all their life, and this has been their life savings that these organisations holding on to. That they need to go use for the next step, or their partner if they pass away, that their partner needs. So yeah.
Thank you, Dom. All those people who are going to go into that breakout in the next 10 years, they're watching you. But let's talk about yourself. That's the whole idea today. So let's go back to your earlier days.
Yep.
Let's talk about your background. Where you were city boy, or did you grow up?
No, I grew up in the country. I grew up down south, so in the Waitaki Valley, so in a farm community, worked in farms all my sort of childhood and growing up, and then I went after finishing high school. I went overseas. I got a scholarship that used that for a flight to go overseas, and so worked overseas for a number of years, and then came back after about 4 years and went to university in Canterbury, and so then got a flat in Riccarton, and there's been sort of in Wigram since then. But yeah, just been came to uni here, and then after uni, so did a undergrad, so a whole range of different bits and pieces from arts degree, history, politics, etc. And then did a postgrad in masters in international relations. And so yeah, I did that, and then jumped into manufacturing, and then now in the project management side / I hesitate to say, but I do project management and also enterprise architecture. But no one knows what enterprise architecture is. But essentially, it's looking at being going into large organisations, generally middle to large organisations, and just trying to link a lot of their IT strategy with their sort of business strategy and have that connection, which we see a lot of disconnect there. But it's a mouthful. Most of the time, when you say enterprise architect, people would just switch off. So I generally would, but yeah. So I did that. I did that a lot, and for the last year, I've been really involved in a lot of large big projects. So I'm in the sort of tech IT space now, and so just been a lot of sort of project managing a lot of large projects. So yeah, that's where I'm now. So it's not naturally sort of didn't study sort of IT, sort of the tech project management space, but when these sort of opportunities or changes come up, so I'm always willing to put my hand up and give it a go. And it's quite interesting, and it's a field that's changing quite quickly. So yeah, it's quite cool.
Yep. And yes, I mean, we always thought politics was quite a complex area, but hearing what you were doing before.
Well, no. I think politics still can be quite complex. I mean, especially, you talk to Megan about energy policy and the energy sector, and that's there's some real complexity there that you need to get your head around if you're a minister or a politician or spokesman for that space. So there is certain complexity there too. So.
Okay, now we have actually passed our 10-minute time, so now we are in it's perfect. I didn't realize that. So we are now into our last kind of 5 minutes where we're going to ask some questions from the community. If we look from Fiji perspective, because we are a tropical island, you can say that we come from, and sun is our friend, so we keep on seeing sun all the time. Why is it that New Zealand we lag behind when it comes to solar energy?
That's a good question. Part of it is we haven't had the sort of the government really getting behind it. I know the last Labor government did a lot of work in trying to increase the amount of solar we have. And I know there's working on a lot of policy in trying to get this encouraged amount of solar. I think our coverage is around 4% here, where somewhere like Melbourne with a similar amount of solar hours is about 20 to 30%. We've got a huge amount of space to grow. Also, we're seeing with the fuel crisis right now, that dependency on gas or on oil, something like solar, it means you get energy independence, and for your car, for your house, you're not reliant on overseas oil markets. And so I think there should be. I know we're working on policy that will encourage to have a lot more solar. There needs to be. I mean, it's now often you've got these batteries that can hold a huge amount that can help reduce the cost. And I think a big barrier what we're looking at is the upfront cost. So there's still, for a lot of people, that upfront cost is the difficult part. Even though over time it's still cheaper. You're saving more money than you would if you're buying off the grid, but still the upfront cost is often the barrier. And so again, that's another area we're doing sort of a lot of work in, as a way to make sure that there's opportunities to have that, and also looking at ways for people, renters and other people that don't own their own home, that they can use solar and find cheaper ways of electricity. And by the way, I went to Fiji when I was a young guy.
Yeah, we did. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did. I really enjoyed Fiji. It was really cool.
And being on that policy, or not policy, sorry, we are talking about the solar segment. Is it something that we are going to hear in one of those policies that we are waiting for?
Yeah, no, definitely. You'll hear a lot of.
So you're allowed to say that?
There'll be some policy, some good energy policy coming out. Me's been working, and the whole Labor Party has been working on energy policy, particularly a lot of work on solar.
So we are almost up on time, so maybe two questions, and then we will finish this interview. So now going on to the hard one. Was it easy or difficult choice to make when this idea came that you were the to stand in Wigram, when we know what it's like?
It's a good question. I think it was involved a lot of thinking on my behalf, a lot of discussions with the different people, family, friends. But in the end, it was sort of. It was exciting. It was exciting to give it a go. Like obviously you never guaranteed it, so you have to work hard. You have to get out there, campaign, and then to wait for the results in November the 7th. And so it was more exciting. I think someone who's come over from India or somewhere else, and that comes here to migrates here and comes to work. There's a lot more challenges and risk there. For me, it's there is certainly some challenges and risk involved, but it's not this. It's more just an exciting opportunity. Is more the way I see it. That rather than sort of something to be afraid of, or to weigh up. And the benefits is the amount of connection and you have with the community and different people you meet. So yeah.
I would say that you are quite brave to take the job, and hope it goes.
Thank you. Well,
that's all I can say.
Yeah, well, I mean, I look at some of my parents. My parents are migrants, and they came, dad from the States, mum from Germany, and then they decided to settle in the middle of North Otago with no family around and having that difficulty of especially in the 90s, not being able to just video call family. So that I think is more brave in terms of that being an immigrant and trying to find new opportunities as someone new that you don't know. I think that there's a level of sort of bravery and just hard work and nitty gritty that you have to sort of have that that's sort of I think that's where I see a level of bravery and yeah.
That's the time that we have today. And just to close up on a lighter note, how did your basketball game go?
I used to play a lot, and I hadn't played.
I'm talking about the recent one that you had.
Yes, the one you saw online.
Exactly.
I played a lot when I was at uni. I'd go play pickup basketball a lot in the gym, and this time I hadn't played in a while. And I was very rusty, and so it didn't go as well for me as it has in the past. It was good. Yeah, so.
It was very nice talking to you, Dom, and all the best. And that was Dominick Yanzick, who is the Labour's parliamentary candidate for the Wigram electorate in Christchurch. And to finish off, I would like to acknowledge Plains Media for the support with our KYC, that is Know Your Candidate project, as well as we would like to thank our knowledge partner, Christchurch Bengali community. So we'll finish off the video now, and we will catch up with you some other interviews, some other videos as we go along with this project.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.